Hello, welcome back to tomorrow's transfers. Today I'm of course Statman Dave, and on today's show we're going to be talking about all the transfers in the news right now. Of course we're going to be talking about Andreas Pereira, Alderweireld, Anderson, Talisca, bit of Fred and a little bit of Ian Henderson. That is what's on today's show, where we look through all the United transfer news and we smash the BS into oblivion. A guy that's already smashed some BS into oblivion today was, of course, Stephen Howson, who did a transfer review on FTD, so make sure to go and check that out after, of course, you've watched me, Statman Dave. You don't want to listen to what Howson said, you want to listen to what I've said first, but make sure, of course, to check that out, because he was talking about a journalist called Carlos Volcano. Yes, that is definite BS. But anyway, so today we are going to be talking about Andreas Pereira first up. Of course, there's been some news about him in the Sporting Witness. They've been reporting that Fenerbahce are interested. I've forgotten, was it Galatasaray or Fenerbahce? It was Fenerbahce. And of course, Fenerbahce, Damian Komoli, ex-Liverpool sporting director, is out there now and wants to bring Andreas Pereira to the Turkish Giants. For me, I don't want to see Andreas Pereira going anywhere but staying at Manchester United. Of course, he moved to Valencia over the sort of for a loan deal, and it just didn't really work out for him. You take a look at his appearances and the positions that he played. You know, he made 12 starts in an entire La Liga season. He was supposed to go out to Valencia and start every single game, and he didn't. What a waste of 12 months of his career. In terms of goals and assists, he got 3 assists and only scored 1 goal in that entire spell. He was mostly a sub, came on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. The problem with that move was obviously Marlesino had Valencia set up in a fantastic way in a 4-4-2, Guardes on one wing and Carlos Soler on the other wing. And those two guys, honestly, were really, really good every time I watched them. Carlos Soler's been linked with Manchester United, or Soler linked with Man United. He reminds me a little bit of Koke. And of course, Guardes on the other side on loan from PSG. It was just fantastic, so good at the first half of the season. Of course, Pereira not getting into the side. It was a big mistake for me for Andreas Pereira to go on loan. It looked like Mourinho wanted to keep him. You think about what United have kind of lacked this season is a guy that can play on the right-hand side. Yes, Pereira can play on the left, central midfield, attacking midfield, but he can also play on the right, and he's got really good delivery. And it just seemed like a crazy, crazy move for, of course, Andreas Pereira to go out on loan. And if United want to, look to sell him now in the summer to, of course, Fenerbahce, that's been reported by Fanatic, I'd be quite sad. I'd love to see him get a bit of games. Watching him come through the youth team and see his talent, and then the World Cup under-20s where he was absolutely fantastic. Scored a blinding goal in the final of that tournament that was won eventually by Serbia. But it's one of these things where I really like Andreas Pereira. I like what he does for Manchester United, and I'd hate to see him leave. So tactically flexible. Of course, guys, in between each of the points, we're going to go to your comments, so make sure you're getting into the comments. A shout out to Danny, who was early on the stream today. Had a little banter with me on the chat, so keep getting into the comments. And of course, like that goddamn video. 46 likes! Come on, lads, you are better than that. Let's get up to 100 likes straight away before we move on to this next point. Let's get into the comments. Let's see what is going down. We've got a few comments coming in from Lou saying Jason Puncheon will be unveiled at Old Trafford on Friday. I think that is complete BS, so get that out of the comments. We don't want to see anything like that. But would you keep Andreas Pereira? That's what I want to ask you guys. I've sort of said my case for Andreas Pereira. I'd like to see his development a little bit more on Man United. I'd like to see him play a bit. Of course, with Fellaini, with Ander Herrera, with Michael Carrick going, there is a massive Andreas Pereira-sized hole in the side. The other thing as well is Andreas Pereira is very, very good from set pieces. Good at wide free kicks and also corners. What United have been so bad in the last few seasons at corners. Even Phil Jones took them under Louis van Gaal. Absolutely mad. Every single time the corners come in, they seem to not even beat the first man. So frustrating. And Andreas Pereira could instantly come into the side. I don't know where he'd fit in though, obviously with Fred signing from Shakhtar Donetsk, who we'll talk about a little bit later on. It looks like Andreas Pereira is probably going to be maybe the second choice, maybe for the League Cup games he's going to be starting. But keep hitting that like button. 115, that's what I wanted to see, guys, so we can move on to the next point. We're just going to go back to the comments before we do that. How is there a dislike? Andre, I completely agree with that. Who's being a big bully? Unbelievable. Matt Hodge is saying James Tompkins for a new centre-back for United. Stop messing around in the comments. I've already told you about that. Andreas Pereira, greater than Lingard. No, Jesse Lingard is an absolute hero. Directly involved in 20 goals in all competitions this season. The best of his career. I love Jesse Lingard. I think that he adds so much to Man United. The likes of Manchester City. Playing a role that you've got to respect. Off the ball, brilliant at running off the ball. But anyway, guys, shall we move on to the next point of question, the next point of discussion that we're talking on right now, which will be, we are moving on to the big one, Alderweireld to Manchester United. The thing with this is, according to the MEN, a high-level source, the deal is off. Alderweireld to Manchester United. Apparently, there's been some concerns over Alderweireld's profile, and he's not 100% target in the summer. Very, very interesting. For me, Alderweireld is a very, very good defender, but at 29 years old, do you want to pay 55 million for that type of guy? I think he's a fantastic player, but it's this thing where frustrating that he's not complete. You think he's very, very good on the ball. He's very, very good at, commanding his other centre-half, but there's moments where he really sort of gets dominated. You think the Spurs game in the Premier League, of course, Lukaku dominating him for the Anthony Martial goal. United need a physical striker. They need a guy that's going to be, a physical centre-half. They need a guy that can sit with Eric Bailly and be physical. When United play backs against the wall, we want guys to be, winning the aerial balls, dominating that deep block, and that's the thing. I don't think Alderweireld is quite that defender. I'm not going to stop there, though, because I don't want to just talk about Alderweireld, because, again, I'm going to promote Longley. I think Longley is a fantastic signing. We saw on Friday that he's going to be making his decision after the European Championships, and I think Longley would be a better fit, as well as being such an aggressive, defender that defends first, always defending first, whether it's winning tackles, whether it's going out and, winning aerial duels. He's very, very good on the ball. And I think that's kind of something that United need from that left-hand side, getting those balls to Paul Pogba's feet. We saw that a lot with Bonucci at Juve, getting Pogba in between the lines. And if you've got someone that's so confident and, controlled on that left foot, that's what you're going to have, a cultured centre-back Longley. So I'd argue that Longley's got a much higher ceiling than Alderweireld. Alderweireld is a fantastic player, but I am all about Longley. What do you guys think in the comments, Longley or Alderweireld? I think Alderweireld is going to be around £55 million, and he's also 29 years old. Longley to 23, and he's potentially got a £30 million release clause. I'm all about Longley. French, absolutely, lots of that. The performance against United was fantastic. I've seen him play a few times for Sevilla as well, against the likes of Barcelona, the likes of Real Madrid, and he always impresses me as a centre-half, and I think that he could be the guy. Laporte was the last one that came out of the league, and I thought, look, this guy's a top centre-back, obviously signed for Manchester City, more of a ball player than Longley. Longley's more of your traditional defender. With the signings of Dalot and so forth, I think Mourinho's going for defenders at the back now. We're finally going to upgrade that back line of, Valencia, Young, Smalling and Jones. It's happening, guys. We are upgrading that. But get into the comments, who would you rather have, of course, Alderweireld or Longley? I'm going Longley. What are you guys saying? We've got Longley coming in from Sanchez United. I completely agree there. We've got some shouts for Chicharito coming as a backup striker. We're not talking about strikers, we're talking about centre goddamn halves. See Breezy saying Longley over Alderweireld. Can I get on that as well? Griezmann, sorry. Jimenez from Atletico, from Aaron Cunningham. Jimenez is a wonderful centre-half. Classic Uruguayan. I think he still needs a few more years to maybe develop. You think in the Champions League semi last season, the quarters, he made a really stinky error against Bayern Munich where his concentration just dropped a bit. I think there's not slight concerns, but I'd like to give him a few more years before maybe United come in. I think Longley is ready right now. Rest in peace, Victor Lindelof. I hope not. Lindelof's so good on the ball. Again, but what Victor Lindelof doesn't have is that ability in the penalty area to defend physical, strong. That's not really Lindelof's game. We've seen already for United him getting sort of bullied by target men type forwards that usually get into the penalty area and do leap. Lindelof not very good there. Longley could easily gobble that up, but Longley all day coming in from Mr. Mullins. I completely agree. Levy is bang out of order. Daniel Levy is an absolute joke of a man. 55 million. Apparently as well, the other part of the news that's coming out from the MEN is that Alderweireld's contract will be sort of running down in the next few seasons. So next summer, United get him for £25 million. So why not wait until then? If Longley doesn't solve the problem, United to spend again, maybe sort him out. But no. Shouts for Tuanzebe as well. That's a good point. Tuanzebe is coming back. Sergio Ramos also going in there. Kimpembe, Koulibaly. Quite like Koulibaly. He's really improved as a player, actually. A few seasons ago, I was not a massive fan of Koulibaly. I thought it was a bit too rash, but I think with Sarri and him being so involved in the ball-playing side of Napoli, it's really improved his game. But we've been talking too much about centre-backs. Let's move on to the next talking point, of course, which is Anderson Talisca. Again, United have been pulled into this rumour, which is absolute horse crap. Because he's already moved to Guangzhou, and now they're saying that United offered €40 million for him, and he decided to go to Guangzhou Evergrande instead. Although that you think in this Chinese club have just spent €25 million for 6 months. A 6-month loan deal for €25 million. If you're Benfica, of course you're gobbling that. You're taking that straight away. You're not getting 40 mil, are you? Stop right now. Hit that goddamn like button. Point at the camera. Do it right now. We'll continue this chat about Anderson Talisca. Cheers, guys. So, in terms of Anderson Talisca, yeah, I mentioned on Friday, and I really appreciate him as a footballer, very goal-scoring, attacking midfielder, doesn't really get involved in the play, but it's kind of always in the right area at the right time. He's a really weird footballer, would have done quite well for United, thinking he's more of an off-the-ball guy, like a Jess Lingard in a way, but we've already got goddamn Jess Lingard, so I'd rather, stick with the Jess man, because he is an absolute superstar. But yeah, of course, the reports coming out from Ojogo, saying that Guangzhou just paid the big cash for a loan deal, 25 million euros for a loan deal. You've got to be mad. You could get a few players for that. Unbelievable. Anyway, shall we move on? Everyone in the comments, what do you think about this? What do you think about this transfer, Anderson Talisca? Is it just more papers pulling United in to get some more clicks? Yeah, pretty much so. 100 goddamn %. Yeah, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Keep into the comments. Sign Milinkovic-Savic. Imagine Fred, Pogba, Matic, Milinkovic-Savic. That would be one hell of a central midfield pair, and that is a great shout coming in there. I love the fact that Timo Werner moonlights as an FTD presenter. Cheers. Thanks, man. Sometimes I've got to score goals for Germany and RB Leipzig, but other times I'm on FTD because it's such a quality place to be. We've got Talisca is a no. We should try Thiago from Bayern. Thiago, injury-prone as anything. The reason why Bayern have struggled in the Champions League is because their midfield sort of is built around Thiago. It was under Guardiola, under Heckens last season, it kind of was as well, and he just isn't fit for the whole year. And you can't do that. He's a brilliant player when he's fit, but when he's not fit, you can't get him in your team. So Thiago, no thanks for me. I want to go with power, I want to go with pace and aggression. I want the classic Mourinho midfield, I want that back. I'd love to get Michael Essien back, but of course he's probably retired now. But that's the type of player I want, and that may be the type of player that Fred might be. There's some quotes been coming out from the Shakhtar Donetsk, I think it's his president or one of the chief dudes there, basically saying that United have been watching Fred since April, which is pretty decent. So the quotes were going, since April, their scout was constantly present at all of our home games in Kharkiv. Jose Mourinho wanted to see Fred at Manchester United. Then he moved on to say, Fred has been at Shakhtar since 2013. He's grown seriously as a football player, deserving to continue his development at a stronger league. It's nice for our former players, Willian, Fernandinho, Mkhitaryan, and of course Fred will play in England for the top clubs, competing for the top spot. I like that. I like that when you appreciate your players. You guys have come in, you've signed them from Brazil, they've taken a bit of a gamble at Shakhtar, they've given Shakhtar some good sort of time, and of course they're going to move on. We've seen so many players take that sort of trajectory and that move, and I think it's nice for a president to come out and say something nice about a player and be positive and be like, look, Fred, go on, you can go and do that in Manchester. Again, Fred is a wonderful talent, and I love that the signing under the radar is really, really cool. And I think this is big to the guy that we brought in from Juve, Javier Ribalta. He's joined the sort of chief scouts at Manchester United, and he's got a sort of model of picking players that are sort of at their peak in a way. You're thinking at Juve, it was the likes of Dani Alves, Evra, Llorente, Hernanes, Khedira, Mandzukic, Tevez, all the younger guys, the likes of Alexandro, the likes of Pjanic, Dybala, Morata, Kingsley Coman, and I think that's what we're seeing with United. That's why these signings have been a little bit sort of far-fetched left field. Like Dello, we were never expecting that, and looking and watching him, I'm so happy about what we've bought him. He looks like such a talent. And Fred as well, like watching more and more of Fred, I'm just like, Jesus, this guy is perfect for Paul Pogba. This is a match made in heaven. But anyway, guys, what do you think about the new guy? We've brought in Javier Ribalta. Is he something that is going to take United to the next level in terms of signings? Are we going to get the next Paul Pogba brought to United? Get into the comments and give me a bit of thought on that. Bit of thought about that. So John Carmen said, would you take Weigl from Dortmund? Could he replace Carrick? He was linked in January but all gone quiet. So Dortmund had such a bad season that Julian Weigl in fact got dropped. Julian Weigl was brilliant under Thomas Tuchel, but really struggled on the managers that have come in after Tuchel. And it's a big season for him next season. Of course, Lucien Favre, one of my favourite managers in European football, is taking over. Lucien Favre plays a lovely style of football, so quick, high tempo, pressing, very, very compact in like a 4-4-2. Usually plays sort of like, forwards in the central striker position, like wide forwards in there. I expect Marco Reus to potentially play through the middle. Marco Reus' first breakout season, where he scored 19 goals in the Bundesliga, was under Lucien Favre. But Julian Weigl should get back. I'd love to see a midfielder, Dahoud and Julian Weigl. That would be lovely. But at United, maybe not. I kind of think that he needs to have another good season. I think he's a wonderful footballer, but right now, what I like about United is the pace and the power. I think that you want to stick with that model. The only way to combat this Manchester City team is pace, is power. It's the classic Mourinho way. We've got to embrace that. We've got to embrace the likes of Fred. Embrace the likes of, if Milinkovic-Savic is signed, a big, physical, burly central midfielder that has all the skills to pay the bills. You know, all the rumours going around with him, I'd love to see him go. Is that a Nigeria shirt? No, this is the boys. This is Cameroon. Cameroon. Yes, I've just used my top to make a stupid face, but Cameroon, they're going to win the World Cup. They didn't qualify, but I still believe in the guys because their shirt is sick. You know, the Nigerian top? Nah, this is the real deal. It's got a bloody lion on the front. How sick is that? Of course, get into the comments, guys. What do you think about all these transfers we've mentioned? Do you like it with Fred, the sort of, you know, the owner of Shakhtar Donetsk, coming out and saying some nice stuff? I like it. Make sure to like the video as well, because we're talking about nice things today. Not hate, not war, but about Fred signing for United and involving the midfield. So smash that like button straight away. And finally, the final topic today is Ian Henderson, who apparently is on his way to Norwich City. So Ian Henderson starred for Shrewsbury Town last season, putting some really good goalkeeping performances, and United have offered him another deal. I think his deal is, you know, going to run out soon. They've offered him a 2-year deal with another year extension, but he may be signing for Norwich City. You know, it could be all right in a way. You know, Ian Henderson, David De Gea's got like another 50 years in him, so yeah, we got David De Gea, so Ian Henderson maybe not for us right now. What do you guys think? David De Gea, are we okay right now? Are we absolutely fine? Again, we've got some slight Wi-Fi issues. I don't know why. I have literally 150 meg download. I have about 25. Is around 8. Guys, what's going on? Tweet Virgin, @Virgin. What are you doing? Or is it Google again? Google cut me off last time. I'm watching you, Google. But of course, guys, I think that might be that. Keep getting into the comments, chat to the guys, but I think I'm going to be calling it a day here, guys. What we've talked about, of course, is Andreas Pereira. We've chatted a lot of stuff about Andreas Pereira and how he should stay at Man United. We've also gone with Anderson Talisca. You know, we mentioned that there as well. We've also moved on about Toby Alderweireld, Fred, and Ian Henderson, and I think that's that, guys. That is that. I've been Statman Dave. Make sure, of course, to check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe to Full Time Devils. All the fun stuff. I'm sure there'll be some great content as well. Check out Stephen Howson's transfer review. That's a banger. They're talking about a fella called Volcano, who's a journo that's making up a load of crap about United. So go and check that out. I've been Statman Dave. Over and out. See you guys later.